So this is Will Knight. We are back with another podcast of All About Nothing, and I'm been getting some therapy work done, and on my back. I have back issues, and I've been getting some therapy work done, and I've been coming to this place in Melrose Park to see my therapist of Lionheart Therapy, and my therapist is inside of this huge facility. It's a gym. And there's some equipment here that I've never seen before. So I was asking him about it. So he set me up with Antonio Ramirez, who's a trainer here. So we're just talking with him today. So, hey, Antonio, how you doing?
What's going on, guys? My name is Antonio Ramirez. I am a strength and conditioning coach based out of the west suburbs of Chicago, so like Melrose Park area. I've trained at, I've been in the business for 10 years. I started out at Export, I believe in like 2017. Trained there for a couple years, moved to FFC Park Ridge from there. And then once the pandemic hit in 2020, I went independent where with my cousin, he's the one who's the owner of the facility, runs the facility, manages it. And I became I became his first coach here. So I was kind of here from the beginning. I've seen the whole expansion of this facility. And that's a little bit about myself.
So how long have you been here?
Since the beginning. So I think 5 years now. 5 years in June, yes.
Okay. And what is your specialty in training? Because I know you do jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
I know you very athletic. You lift heavy weights.
Yes. Yes.
On your Instagram posts, you lift heavy weights.
Yes. You know what? I started out. I'm a little bit of everything. I think really the only thing I am missing in my arsenal is like Olympic lifts, right?
Okay.
So like the clean and jerk, the snatch. I've never really got around to learning how to execute those movements. But as far as everything else, I went through a bodybuilding phase. I think that's so normal for younger guys to kind of start out in that phase. And then from there, I went into like more of a power bodybuilding phase. I wanted to start getting strong, right? I just didn't want to look strong.
Yeah.
I wanted to actually be strong. So that was the next part. I went through a little power bodybuilding phase, powerlifting phase. And then after that, that's when I kind of found jiu-jitsu. I realized, I got a lot of muscle, I got a lot of strength, but I move like shit. And there's guys out there that are like 140 pounds that can absolutely ragdoll me.
Yeah.
It was a very eye-opening experience for me. And I've always kind of been into martial arts as well, too. So,
well, I do jiu-jitsu. Well, I did jiu-jitsu. Then now I'm doing Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing Muay Thai for 6 years now. But what I realize is that a lot of trainers are not really good trainers. They're brand new at it. There are some trainers you see in gyms is just kind of like on the phone, put their hands in their pocket. Mm-hmm. They're ignoring you. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, oh, you just do your thing and you go ahead and they come back to you 5 or 10 minutes later and not correcting what you're supposed to be doing regularly. And so how do you help those people, or because you don't do that?
No. I try to be as professional as possible with this. I mean, it's my career, right? It's like, and it's all I really know too. First things first, like, and I had to learn this really quick. Starting out at a big box gym is like, you're not going to train the people that you want to train initially, right?
Yeah.
So my ideal client back in the day when I first started would have been another guy like me.
Yeah.
That's like, hey, I want to just build muscle.
I want to look good. I want to look good for the beach.
You know, that's the ideal client, right? A guy that just wants to bench press and do bicep curls and
mirror muscles.
Like, 100%. But then I quickly realized, like, I got to put my time in first before I can be picky about who I take on as clients, right? So you have to recognize that you're not going to work with the clientele that you initially want to work with. You kind of have to put in your time, meaning like you're going to have to work with an 80-year-old woman that has back pain. And guess what? You're going to have to adjust your sessions and become a better trainer and become a better, just a better trainer, a better strength and conditioning coach, and learn how to train people like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. You're going to have to do things that you wouldn't normally do in your own training, right? To kind of be able to coach them through that. And then too, I always say this too, like if you're getting into this business because you like working out, It's two separate things, dude. It's two separate things. You got to want to help people. And on top of that, too, it's a sales job at the end of the day. You're selling yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you're on the clock kind of 24/7. So you got to remember that, too. This is a sales job. It's not, and you got to want to help people. You can't just like working out. You got to be very committed to your clients and their needs. And every client's different. The way I train you is different than the way I would train Amin, for instance, right? You have to be able to recognize that. You got to be a chameleon of some sorts.
It's interesting because, you know, I go to the gym now, and even in Muay Thai, I see older people in their, you know, 60s, 70s, 80 years old working out or doing mobility classes or trying to do something to keep active. And which is surprising to me, being in the gym these many years and doing Muay Thai Jiu-Jitsu. Like one of my Jiu-Jitsu coaches at the time, I think he was 70 years old. He was a black belt, and he was still rolling around with a 25-year-old black belt, which is interesting because we were in the locker room and they, you know, our session ended and they just going at it. And all of a sudden, one of the guys come in and goes, "Hey, they're going at it." And all of a sudden, everybody runs out of the locker room.
Everybody wants to go watch
and everybody wants to watch this 70-year-old black belt schooling this 25-year-old black belt.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you know, guys coming out in towels, leaving the shower because they want to see this.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because, you know, I look at the gym now and you see older people in there.
It's like an everybody thing now.
Yeah, it's everybody thing now, which is very surprising to me.
Yeah, it's crazy because like I feel like the internet blew up fitness in a sense, because when I was younger, when I really started getting into the gym culture, I want to say maybe it was like right after I graduated high school. It's like 2010. And then you can kind of see it, the rise of YouTube, the rise of the fitness influencer. There was that phrase back in the day in the mid like 2010s, "Do you even lift?" You know, it became like a trendy thing, right?
Yeah.
But now you're even seeing it more with like, it's just like a trend now. Like it's like everybody kind of knows you have to work out.
Yeah.
Oh, whether you're young or you're older, they're realizing I got to get in the gym. I got to do some sort of resistance training. I have to pick up some sort of sport, whether it's Muay Thai, cycling, something that I enjoy, running. It doesn't matter, right? Where you're moving. Because probably the only reason, or one, I'm not going to say the only reason, but part of the reason that 70-year-old black belt can still roll is because he hasn't really stopped, right?
Right. He
hasn't stopped moving.
Right.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
Right? And that is so true when it comes to movement and fitness. If you're not using it, you're going to lose it. You're going to become sedentary. You're going to atrophy. You're going to lose range of motion in your joints because you're not using it.
You know what's interesting is one of the things that everyone noticed was people walking around in malls before the malls open. You know, so the doors open at 7 o'clock, but the mall doesn't open till 9. And we used to make fun of people walking around in the malls every day, every morning. But now it's just like, it works.
You see the value in it.
You see the value in it, exactly. And it's just kind of like, now you see people walking everywhere.
Yeah.
Saying, "Oh, I got to get my steps in. I got to get my steps in." Mm-hmm. And even now, like, for instance, I went out to dinner last night with the West Loop, and I parked literally further away. The first parking spot I saw, that's where I parked.
Just to get those extra steps
and I'm like, I got to get my steps in.
Yep, 100%.
And I worked out yesterday, too. So it's just like, I got to get my steps in.
Yeah. I live in a 6-story condominium building, and I live on the 5th floor, so I take the elevator. Right?
Okay.
I'll take the stairs down some mornings, depending if I've had a long day. I mean, my job is, I'm walking around, right? If I have like 8 sessions a day, I'm setting up equipment, I'm walking with my clients from station to station. So for me, hitting my steps is not a problem. But I don't know. There's something in me when I get in that elevator and I push 5 and somebody else comes in and I see them push 2. I'm just like, bro, it's a flight of stairs. Take the stairs, man.
Right, exactly.
Take the stairs. What are we doing here?
Or they come into the door and it's our 1 and all of a sudden they push 2. It's just like, really?
Yeah. I'm like, what are we doing here? You know? But it's nice to see that you know, people are starting to be more cognizant of like, oh shit, you know, I sit at 8 hours a day at work.
Right.
I should make an effort to park farther
Yeah.
to get those extra 50, 100 steps, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's going to maybe take you 1 or 2 more minutes, but you know, like
Yeah.
if it's consistent, that adds to your
Yeah.
quality of life, you know? It probably adds more time to your life
Right.
over an extended period of time.
Well, it's interesting because I park further away because I don't want to get door dings on my
You
truck.
sound like my wife. Sound like my wife. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Hey, but whatever
I
park
park further
right?
away.
You know,
Whatever works.
You know, you're getting those extra steps, whether it's because of the health or the car dinks. You
Right,
know,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I got a couple more questions for
yeah.
you.
Shoot them.
What made you get into this, the fitness industry?
Honestly, I don't know if I've even told you this, but I tell some of my more longtime clients all the time because they've asked this question: when did you get into fitness? I was growing up. I was bullied. I was a fat kid. I played a lot of video games. I played a lot of
Okay.
Call of Duty. So even throughout high school, was not
Really?
athletic at all. I tried to
Okay.
wrestle and do cross country, and I lasted maybe 2 years in both sports. And I was like, yeah, this is not.
So
for me.
you were the kid who had the Coca-Cola, the orange soda on your game station. Hot Cheetos.
Hot Cheetos. I had I don't even know if you would know what this means, but I had a 2.0 kill to death ratio in Call of
Oh,
Duty.
my
You know,
God.
I was what the kids call nowadays sweaty. I was
Yeah.
I was a very try hard at those type of things. But it was an escape for me. You know.
Okay.
My childhood growing up was a little dysfunctional. My dad had a lot of issues with alcohol, so I really leaned into, and there was like no money for sports
Right.
too, right? My family was a little broke too, so there was
Yeah.
so I really leaned into video games
Okay.
as an escape. But then after I graduated high school, I was like, all right, man, I got all this time.
Yeah.
I was a part-time student at Triton College. And I had all this time. I worked a part-time too at this place called Monkey Island. It was it's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese. And that's kind of when I started lifting is 2010, and I've been very consistent since then. And once I started lifting and I started putting muscle on, my arms started getting bigger, my chest started getting bigger. I didn't really have any abs. Like I was just kind of filling up. I was
Yeah.
kind of doing a dirty bulk, so I was kind
Right.
of fat, but I had muscle underneath.
Yeah.
But on a shirt, you can tell I had been lifting weights. I noticed that some people that I graduated from high school, particularly females, started treating me differently, were acknowledging my existence.
Yeah.
I lost my glasses. I started putting on contacts. I
Right.
started getting a haircut. And I started having a little bit of a glow up. And then, I started getting more attention from females. And then that's when I really, I'm like, oh, all right, say
So
less.
you had a total makeover.
Yes. And then that motivated me. And then for many years, I was kind of attached to that. How I look
Yeah.
was directly correlated to my self-confidence. It was kind of a phase, and then that left. And then it's kind of all I know,
Okay. I think that is what's going on now, or even then, is this kind of like people want to look good, they want to feel good, they want the attention. And
That's how it starts.
And that's how it starts. Exactly. Exactly. So my next question, because we're going to end this soon, what is your goal when working with people, no matter which age group they're in?
My goal is just to make people realize you don't have to do this how I do it. Even now, I really only work as far as strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
I only do it maybe 2 to 3 times a week. But
Okay.
there was a time when I lifted weights 6 days a week, right?
Right.
So I was really, really in the weightlifting culture, the powerlifting culture. But I just did it because I liked it. But
Right.
now, I still love it. I still love lifting weights. I still love training. But I love jujitsu. But I want people to realize, I found jujitsu as another part of fitness that I like. But my strength training and my strength and conditioning and my mobility, all the movement things I do with you
Yeah.
and for myself, it only adds to my jujitsu. And not only that, it only adds to my quality of life, right?
Yeah.
I do feel like everybody in this world should be lifting weights 2 to 3 times a week minimum for just better quality of life. And to, let's say that's not your strength and conditioning isn't your main focus. Let's say it's Pilates. Let's say it's whatever. It's Muay Thai.
Right.
It's your strength and conditioning is only going to add to you being better at that.
Yeah.
That's my big thing. It's just everybody needs to resistance train. Everybody needs to get into the gym and lift some weights, do a little bit of jumping, do a little lateral movement, move in ways that you're not moving in your day-to-day life to give you a better quality of life. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, I think that wraps it up. It's about quality of life.
Yeah, quality of life.
And culture. So
Yep.
I'm going to thank you for coming on today.
Of course.
And I need to get to the gym to get some weights done.
Yeah, we're about to work out right now.
Yeah, definitely. So work up a sweat, lose some 600 calories or something like that.
Yeah.
So again, this is All About Nothing, and we'll be back next week for another podcast.
Thank you so much.
No problem.